We're not wasting any time, guys. We're getting straight into the charts. And what are we talking about today? We're talking about MicroStrategy. And looking at these charts here, we can see MicroStrategy at the start of business today was below $300. And look, we had this blast up. Now, why do we think that this is bullish? So we're up in this upwards channel right here where we peaked out around $550, and then since then we've had a retracement, and people can look at this retracement from a variety of different lenses. But if you look at your corrective waves, you can say that this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, C, D, E, whichever way you cut the cloth. It looks like that could be 5 waves playing out, and it looks like we could be in the depths of a turnaround. And why do the Bitcoin bros think this? Look at this gap back here. We actually came back and filled this gap with this previous pullback all the way down to $280. So that gap was filled, and there's something even more bullish that happened when that gap was filled. If we look at the RSI, we see the RSI bottomed out and put a higher low in. We showed you some previous videos, but you see the price action here from that same time frame put in a lower low. This is a bullish divergence, so this could be rounding to break out of this channel. The next level we want to pay attention to is up to around the 360 range, and then we want to break out of this channel, which this downward slope is going from the 380 down to the 350 range. So if we get back into the 400s, you can say that MicroStrategy definitely has broken out of this channel, and we could potentially get a back test before we get that rip to the upside. Be prepared for what's to come, because MicroStrategy could surprise a lot of people. Looking at the RSI, from this peak here, we came and hit our head here towards the top of this bullish channel, and look what happened. We put the bullish divergence in, and right here broke out of this and weren't even near this channel. So you could just got to be patient, wait and see. That's what we see in the short to mid term. Looking at more moving averages, do we see anything bullish? Now this moving average right here, this green line, you have to pay attention to. This is the 200 moving average, so we want to get back above this, and right now that's sort of holding us up. If we zoom into this price action, look at everything a little bit closer, it's sort of holding us up, but we're like sort of sitting right at it. So we're running into some resistance there. Could we get a retracement back down to 300? That's possible. That's definitely possible, but these are bullish engulfing channels. We broke out of this. We could potentially come back down for a back test for 300 before coming up and breaking through that 200 moving average. So this is something to definitely pay attention to. Our bull market support band, we are still above. Almost came down and kissed it perfectly with that 280 range. But, when in doubt, zoom out, because we were overextended from the bull market support band, and not so much right now. So we had that chance to reset. That's what the Bitcoin bros see. Gaussian channel. What do we see? What do we anticipate? Look at that 200 moving average, what we showed you on the 4-hour, corresponds almost perfectly with this Gaussian channel on the 4-hour. If you look on the lower time frames, we can see we actually got to the top of this Gaussian channel. On the 2-hour, on the 1-hour, we're actually above it. So what we'd like to see here, we'd like to see the 2-hour get this, well, the 1-hour flip green, the 2-hour get above this, and then the 4-hour break into this. So we got to get into these ranges before we can blast out of it, but everything seems like momentum is to the upside. If you look at another indicator, the stochastic RSI on the 4-hour, it seems to be, in overbought territory, but it can stay up here for quite some time. So that's not anything to really pay too much attention to. And looking on the 12-hour, we're still on an uptrend. We still are on an uptrend. The trend's your friend to the end. And you see that we had this brief red period within a bull cycle, but are we going to get back above this to blast off? That's on the 12-hour. Let's look on the daily, because the daily is definitely a higher time frame we want to pay attention to. So what we want to do is see this continuation on the daily, and we see the same bullishness on the charts as this downtrend. We broke out of this bullish engulfing channel, candle, and we could just bounce off this mid-range before we just start to blast up towards the upside. If we break through this downtrend that this daily candle's been in, now it looks like the blue line could be breaking out. If we see this blue line rip off, the MicroStrategy price is going to follow suit. Now, if this is some big flag pattern that we've showed you before, the target for this could be up to about $13 to almost $1,400. Post market at the current time of this recording, we're at 340. Now, everybody knows that MicroStrategy is, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. So at the current time of this recording, Bitcoin is at 98.3K. And remember, the level we want to pay attention to is this previous high. So we came up and retested this downwards resistance from this Gaussian channel, and look, we're above the Gaussian channel on the 4 hours, so this definitely looks good, and we're not too overbought yet. And we've seen the same divergence here on the lows. We put a higher high in the RSI, but as far as the price action was, we put a lower high in, so that indicates that there's a divergence, a bullish divergence, and the price is going to come back up to the upside. So how high are we going to go? You know, Bitcoin, look on the lower time frame. If we look at the 2 hour, you know, we can see that we actually did flip green. And looking at the 3 hour between the 2 and 4, the 3 hour just flipped green, and you see there's more room to run to the upside. So this is looking very good, a very good bullish setup as we stair step our way up. Everything is looking maybe to the upside. We want to get back above this level. We want to get back into the $100,000 range, the 99.3K range from this previous high. If we flip this from resistance to support and then have that continuation, that's definitely bullish for markets. Josh Man has flipped bullish as well. For what it's worth, not much. Highlighted are the new long call positions entered today. Yesterday, I bought back short call positions on 80,000 shares. And he'd like to wait a day before swinging long out of respect to Mr. Market. Well, look what happened. He hopped into some long calls. You know, February is not that long, but January 17th, he put some call options in, and he's getting ready to make his money work for him. And for today, what did he do? He entered into some of these new long call positions, and they're already in the money. Look at what he's making crazy gains off 200 shares. Look at, like, Josh Man is killing this game. So shout out to him. But as you see, everything is dependent on what Bitcoin is doing, and Bitcoin seems that has more room to run. And you see Bitcoin is just stair-stepping its way back up to the upside. We came back and bounced off of this moving average right here below. So everything seems that it could be on the upside in the short to mid term for Bitcoin. You know, at the current time of this recording, post-market, it's sitting right around that 340 range. So once again, we want to see a continuation to the upside from MicroStrategy. Grain of Salt's back in the game. He's buying more long call options out to March and February at 500 strikes, and you can see that he could have bought more, but he want to see Bitcoin run to 105,000 over the weekend. So will Bitcoin have, you know, a massive blast off this weekend? Once again, this is on the daily. This could be looked at multiple ways. So if we use this first test point here where we got rejected, this could have been a fake out here. That was the bullish divergence here, or the bearish divergence where the price had to cool off. It came back down, we got rejected again, and then broke through it. So we want to see, you know, what happens with Bitcoin. We could look at it in this capacity as well, but, you know, we think that this is more appropriate. So this yellow line also is curling back up. We're above the respective EMAs that we have to be, so everything is looking good from the Bitcoin Bros stance. Did you buy this dip with MicroStrategy down to the 280 range? That was a gift. Bitcoin Bros told you this was a gift. It's a buying opportunity. We're still in an uptrend. The uptrend's your friend to the end. And we were talking about filling this gap. That happened. So once it happens, then what typically happens? A reversal. So we came back, re-kissed this Gaussian channel, got rid of all this space, and over the next few months, we could see a rally to the upside. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate each and every one of you. And with that, I'm out.